Hey there, okay, in this video we're going to talk about the Fibonacci fan. And now if it's any question that I get asked a lot, it's basically when do I open a trade to go long, or how long should I stay in a trade for? You know, so I just go to the chart and show you basically what the Fibonacci fan looks like, okay? Now the way we go ahead and plot is go to the insert, Fibonacci, go to the fan. Okay, now what you want to do is obviously make sure that a previous trend has been established. So here is our uptrend, and then we want that trend to stop. Okay, and then once, remember in the previous video we took our Fibonacci tool from here down to there. Okay, and we found that it came back up to 61.8%. Okay, what we're going to do is actually apply this fan to the chart in the same way. So we're going to take it from this high down to this low. Okay, and you can see that they're marked off at 38.2, 50%, and 61.8. Okay, now what we need to look out for here is basically once this point has been established and it starts to come back down, if it starts to start coming out of this line, the 61.8 line, you know that this downtrend is now over. But it doesn't mean it's over for good. It could be temporarily over. Alright, so once you see it break right here, okay, excuse me, once you see it break right here, you want to buy. Then you're going to use other technical analysis to work out how high it's going to go. Alright, you could probably use this area, a cluster right around here which is full of buyers, and target that instead. Okay, or you can target previous highs. Here is a previous high here, and target that as your TP. Whatever method that you're going to use, once you've gone in for a buy signal and you've closed out, the next thing you're going to do is watch the market as it comes along. You can see this point right here. Alright, so what we're going to do is once we've taken the breakout from there and we've closed the trade off, okay, we're going to move this point down to the next low, just before where we closed that trade off. Alright, so we're going to take it, double click on that red line and bring it all the way down to here. Okay, now once you've closed that trade off, assuming of course it didn't keep going all the way up and it did reverse back down, okay, you can now probably establish another trade to get into. It's completely up to you. When it breaks like the 38.2, you can go back in again for another short trade. But then the next thing you need to be basically concerned of that from that point on forwards is that it does not break outside this 61.8 level. And when it does, alright, obviously you want to close your sell trade. So your sell trade will probably be maybe around about there. So from whatever distance that is, from here to there, that's 2 blocks. 1, 2. So that's about 100, or 100 pip gain, 90 pip gain, or something like that. Okay, so now we've found that breakout. What we're going to need to do now is move this bottom line to the previous low just before where we closed out. So here is the next low down here. So we're going to grab that again and we're going to move it all the way down. Alright, now from this point onwards I wouldn't really go on after more than that, because I mean 2 times will probably be enough for me. Okay, and then once that's done, what you're going to be looking out for now is a break the other way. Okay, and once the break's been made the other way, what you're going to want to do is take the Fibonacci fan out once more. Alright, and you want to take it from where it breaks. Obviously you want to go long here. Okay, you want to go long right there, you want to buy. Alright, and then you want to work out some other technical analysis where you're going to actually close your trade off. You could close it off at this high here if you wanted to, or you can come over and look at the other previous highs. There's one right there. Wherever you close it off, alright, you want to take another fan tool out. Okay, and then you want to take it from the low, well, this time it'll be the major low now. Okay, because we've already got it from the previous lows and highs beforehand to see how this was coming down before. Alright, so now we've found a new low now, because this is basically pulling away. It's letting you know that the trend has now changed. So I'm going to take it from that low to that high where we closed that trade off. Alright, or to the high of approximately where we close that trade off. Depends on where you're closing it off. Alright, so yeah, and then from there, when the market bounces off, comes down and reestablishes itself back up again, like from here, see how it's come down and then it's reestablished itself back here, we can go long here again. Okay, and the only thing that we need to worry about is it breaking this bottom line, this 61.8% Fibo line. Alright, and there it is. That's where it breaks. So we would have got back in right here and we would have had this huge move. I don't know how many bars that is, but that's quite a big move there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was at 155.13. And that stopped off at 158.35. So you're looking at like a 300 pip gain there in approximately, I don't know, since the 15th of September down to the 12th of October. So, you know, that was basically opened for almost a month, for 30 days. 30 days for 300 pips at $10 per pip is $3,000, which isn't too bad. Alright, just in one trade. Okay, so again, so we can see now that this has made a new high right up here, and we can see now that it broke at this particular point. Okay, and it also broke here as well. So what we can possibly do here is once we've actually established this area here, we're going to probably most likely wait and to see if, because we already know that this break here is you know, a trend reversal signal. So we're going to wait for it to do what it needs to do, and obviously it's come down and it's stopped here for whatever reason, and it's gone back up. Alright, now this might be because it's trying to try the new highs again, it's trying to establish the trend or whatever the case may be. But when it start to come back down again and breaks out of here, you've now got a new high that you can work off, and then you can get your Fibonacci fan out again. Okay, and then take it, let's say we can take it from here first of all, work out where there's a break, and then when it breaks out of here we can probably take it a short from that point onwards, and then from that point here when it retraces, let's just put the fan up here, and then here's the break again. So we've gone short from that point down to this point, which is where we would actually close off our trade. Alright, and then again we'll just start over again, we keep switching them around. Alright, so I hope that's made some sense. Okay, let's just delete that. Maybe I can probably give you a couple more examples. Alright, so here we are with our low and there's our high. Get a Fibo tool out, and okay, let's do this the other way around because we don't know whether that point's been established yet. So let's just see when the trade starts to, when the trend starts to trend up and stops at a high, we want to work out where this stuff's all going to end up over here on the right hand side. So let's grab our Fibonacci fan over here and let's do that. I keep doing these the wrong way around, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. Alright, so here would be the area where we can go short after we've established a trend, or you could have basically taken this all the way down to here, but we would have been waiting for a very long time for this trend to actually, you know, show a sign of reversal. So you might want to get in and do some, you know, some quick profits in here by moving it up to a next previous low. Alright, so I would probably move it to around about there rather than there, because it's too steep. If it's more of a nice slanted angle, it's kind of better. I mean, that would have worked out alright. Cool, you would have got a buzz out of that one. If you'd be like, wow, bang, straight down. That would have been awesome. You'd be like, oh wow. Okay, so that's a nice one. Okay, so now when it breaks from there, alright, I'm going to get me Fibo tool out again, and I'm going to work out where it's going to stop. So here's where it stops, right down the bottom here, and then I want to take it from this high down to that low and work out when it's going to basically change trend again. Here we got another break right here, but we're going to have to use a little bit of common sense here. Okay, this area right there is actually a supply area. Alright, and we'll get into that a little bit later on, but this will all start to make sense as we move further and further on into the videos. You'll make this executive decision not to actually go long here, because the extra information that you've learned through the videos will tell you not to. Okay, and again, it breaks again right here. Alright, and you don't want to take a long position right here. It's completely up to you, unless you actually want to target sort of like maybe 50, 60, 70 pips, and that most likely will probably be fine. I would probably target the bottom part of that cluster. Okay, okay, and here is another break right here as well. Alright, and you can go long, and here is like another supply area right there, and as this goes back up, it stops at that particular level and it comes back down again. Alright, so you can use them as little pit stops. Alright, and we can see now that if we move this over to the next low, you can see that it basically stays within that 61.8% Fibo. It does break out a few times, alright, but you have to use, you know, a bit of common sense whether you want to take that break. But you don't really want to fight the trend. I mean, the overall trend does seem to be down at the moment until it starts to change down here and it starts to go back up again. Alright, so I hope you understood that for the most part, okay, and see how the Fibonacci fan can actually get you in early on the trend reversals as well. Alright, so I'll leave you with that video and play around with it for a bit. Alright, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye for now.